All right. We're very excited to be speaking with, and it's funny that I'm talking about this when I have the Secretary of Health and Human Services on, a part of President Trump's cabinet, Secretary Alex Azar. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Delighted to be with you.
So our topic this morning is really not pre-testing for cancer. It is the debacle and the crisis that's going on at the borders. You hear so much in the news. What's the real story? How bad is it down there?
It is a humanitarian crisis of the first order. We have got a flood of illegal immigration coming across our border due to the broken immigration system we have in this country and the lack of cooperation by other countries south of our border. And what's happening as relevant to our department is these kids. We are seeing twice the number of illegal entrants of unaccompanied children into the country. They come in without parents or someone, and they got to be taken care of. You can't just have a 12-year-old girl who walks across the border and let her out on the street. She's got to be taken care of. And so Congress has decreed that HHS provides shelter for them, and we work to then place these kids with family members or other sponsors here in the United States as quickly as possible. But we are seeing twice the number of last year of these kids coming in. And so as of early July, probably, we're going to be plumb out of money. Congress has got to act to give us funding. We're out of beds, and their kids are backing up at the border. Congress has got to act immediately.
Because if they don't, there are going to be problems, and they're going to be pointing the fingers at the people doing the job down there that don't have the money to do the job.
That's it. That's exactly right. We'll have to be running our shelters on IOUs, and the kids will back up at the border in facilities that were never made to house children in them. And it's just not safe, it's not appropriate, and there's no reason that Congress shouldn't act immediately.
You have to be frustrated that because you're not looking at this from a political standpoint, you're seeing it firsthand. You have to be frustrated over the battle here in Washington and how Congress is handling this.
Well, I am frustrated by the delay. President Trump made a strong request for this humanitarian relief. It needs to be acted upon. This is not political. That's actually when I'm speaking with Democrats or Republicans, the first thing I say on this emergency funding is there are no politics here. This is not politics. It's just we need the money because I got to have beds for these kids. It's that simple.
Talking to Secretary Alex Azar, I ask you, what can people do? The way American government works is this is the government of the people. We should be able to step up and contact our representatives.
Well, I'm actually not legally allowed to encourage folks to do that, but I can just present the issue to folks, and they can decide, how they think about it. Which is this is a real emergency situation. We got to do something with these kids. We got to take care of them. We don't have a choice. And if they back up at the border, that happened back in 2014. It's not a pretty situation. Yeah. It's not a pretty situation for either political party. It's bad for kids. It's a humanitarian problem. We got to figure out how we can work together under the president's leadership to solve this problem.
I appreciate your respect for the law, but I'm not bound by it. I can tell people, and we should contact Anthony Brindisi and say, listen, this has got to be something that's resolved. We have to act here. Secretary, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you have to go, but a real honor to have you on the radio. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. He's a good guy. This is like the, fifth, sixth cabinet member we've had on the radio. Pretty big deal, Andrew. That's very big. Andrew's been calling him for months.
And you know what the thing is, too, is one of the things I wanted to, kind of expound on his point is about probably the medicine issue, too. Like, whether they come across the border and get sick or were sick before, medicine ain't free either. Too.
Well, and there are some issues that Republicans and Democrats should be able to get past, and
this should be one of them.
This is certainly one of them. Got a break.